Hello, everyone. We're we're doing pretty well with Lost Media in this year, and for this month, I gotta say it was pretty solid. Not one of the big. It's definitely one of the bigger months according to found stuff, uh, but I wouldn't say it's as big as June. That smooth month was wild. One thing that I will not be talking about is that Handy Manny pilot found, because with it found being later than the concept art we found, this probably is the assumption that there was more than one pilot, and we have a later one. The early one that the wiki was talking about before is still missing. But anyways, without further ado, here's the lost media that was found in August of 2025. First up, Stairway to the Stars. This was a canceled game that was supposed to be released for the Commodore VIC-20, a console that I've never really heard of. I can't really talk much about the story as it's better explained by the people at the team that games that weren't, which I've talked about in this series before. But shorts, this game was able to be recovered and was eventually posted by the people at the team on August 1st. And now you can pretty much play the whole game. Meet the Sniper full remix, full version. This refers to a promotional video for the popular game Team Fortress 2, which was released back in 2008 and was officially uploaded to YouTube in 2009. In the video, it follows the sniper as he discusses the philosophy and standards required for his role. In the video, a song plays which has been identified as a remix to the main theme of the 1973 action thriller film Magnum Force. A full and clean version of this version of the song has never been released due to copyright issues. Though some fragments had been discovered over the years, the full remix version of this remix had not been released. However, on August 4th, anonymous user had leaked among repositories from TF2 and Source Filmmaker, which contained assets from the videos and a clean version of the song. Whoever did this is currently unknown, but you can now listen to the full remix of the song. Creep Kick. Mobile games in recent years have gotten a bad rep, and I'm gonna be honest, some in the back in the day weren't that much better, as many of them were just considered bootlegs of more popular games. One such game from 2013 was Creep Kick, which for those who, if you couldn't tell by the icon, was basically a bootleg that mixed both Minecraft and Kick the Buddy, with the character, instead of Kick the Buddy, just being a blue colored Minecraft creeper. It was released by Navy Duck LLC for iOS and Android. The company is known for making a lot of bootleg Minecraft games. As for the gameplay, it's pretty much the same as Kick the Buddy, just with the blue Minecraft creeper. At some point, the app was taken down. It's not known when or why, but some speculate that while it's not been stated, some people have theorized that Mojang was responsible for this. As of now, while the iOS version has been extensively archived, the Android ones were not as lucky. But thankfully, as of August 7th, and all versions of the game seem to be available to download, available to play on the Internet Archive. The Muppets present. I don't think I need to explain what the Muppets are, as they're probably one of the most iconic puppet series. And I'm sure everyone knows the popular Muppet Show, The Muppet Show from the 1970s. Well, in 2000, the Jim Henson Company tried to make a remake for the show for Fox. Apparently, there were jokes around the pilot of it being more edgy, though barely any information was made about it. However, the pilot script had been on YouTube for a little while. And along with other pilots, such as a canceled 2007, and it would eventually be remade into the 2011 Muppets movie that we know today. On August 9th, a YouTuber known as A Bagel uploaded the full-pitched video to YouTube, receiving a digitalized copy from the Muppet Stuff, the runner of the Muppet Stuff blog and YouTube channel, Chris Schultz. And after watching it myself, I can kind of see why it was rejected. I just don't think it would have worked that well. Throw Some Mo reference / demo track. So, to the music, heads up, there are a lot of music cases for this month. So, y'all, if anyone remembers Ray Shrimmer, and for those who don't, they were a popular hip hop duo that started getting buzz around the very late of the early 2010s for songs like No Flex Zone, No Type, and the subject for this entry, Throw Some Mo. The song we know today, officially released in late 2014, features Nicki Minaj and Young Thug. However, there was a lesser known version that had lacked Nicki Minaj and Young Thug. It was commonly referred to as Throw Some Mo or just Throw Some. This version also seemed to have briefly appeared on SoundCloud, but seems to have since been removed. This early version of the song was dormant for quite some time until August 15th when an MP3 version of the demo was discovered on the Monopoly Music 16 mixtape and uploaded to the Internet Archive by user Joe Buff. And now you can pretty much listen to the full song. Demo. The Burning soundtrack. Not the only. There are two versions of this case being a horror movie soundtrack being found, but here's the first one. The Burning was a 1981 horror film based on a summer camp story dating back to the mid 70s. And it's been often called a ripoff of Friday the 13th, and coincidentally, it was released the same day as the same year as Friday the 13th Part 2. Down to even using the same campsite and the same person doing sound effects and special. While the film itself isn't lost, although it was at one point, its uncut version at one point, but it was discovered in Australia. We're talking about the soundtrack, which was composed by Rick Wakeman. They don't, however, most of the songs by him weren't available on the soundtrack. The Lost Media Wiki has a list of what they were, but on August 17th, Lost Media Wiki user Trev Gauntlet New, he'll be showing up quite a bit on this, was able to find the song, a folder with all the songs from the movie on a site called Soulseek. This was posted by user LostLest1024 and has since been made their way to the public. Birds of Peace studio version. Birds of Peace is a song hung by European pop rock girl group Vanilla Ninja. Who had 4 albums from 2003 to 2006 before taking a break sometime, then reuniting in 2020, where they're still making music together to this day. Now, the song Birds of Peace was performed was a song they played in 2007 for that year's Eurovision. For those who don't know, they were competing for their home country, Estonia. While the live performance is not hard to find, its studio version was a bit harder to find. There is evidence that it did exist, as it had placed number 3 on the Estonian singles chart, which would require either a download or a CD release. However, thanks to Trev Gauntlet New on August 21st, the studio version was able to be found on a site called Reverb Nation. And now you can pretty much. It's unknown how long it's been available. Well, but it's been just recently discovered, so yeah. Corpse Party, new chapter. Here we have another formerly lost mobile game. This one being a mobile remake of the PC-98 Corpse Party RPG maker, game released in 1996. Developed by Team Gris and released episodically between October 2006 and December of 2007. It begins with a group of students telling each other scary stories after the cultural festival at school. Then suddenly, they're sent to an abandoned haunted school by the spirit of a deceased girl named Shinozaki. Find a way to escape. It has the originals game, though new chapter follows this basic premise, but reboots the story with characters and chapters, as well as enhanced visuals. While 5 chapters in this game were planned, only 4 were released. It was in favor of the enhanced PC port Corpse Party Blood Covered in 2008. At some point, and it's not known when, these went missing. However, on August 22nd, user named Yuku, who was at the Keitai Wiki Discord server, who had uploaded a dump of several Japanese mobile applications and games, which included the 4 chapters that were released of this game. As for the 5th chapter, it's not known how much of this was ever complete. But since all the released ones were found, I think it's enough for this list. Infinite Worlds Roblox. Roblox in recent. I'm sure everyone knows about the recent Roblox controversy, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, this Infinite Worlds Roblox was a series of 6 sci-fi books where the protagonist traveled into the game Roblox. They were released by J.D. Pierce or Steve DeWinter and were the first licensed books for the game. However, despite the game's popularity at the time, the books were sold pretty poorly, and as a result, they went missing. And due to legal agreements, the author was not permitted to share any digital material. In September 2024, Nitro Lord, a Roblox YouTube channel, uploaded a video discussing and searching for the books. However, while this was unsuccessful, they were contacted by a Roblox user named Barbie Lacey 2, who owned the first 2 books, sending Nitro Lord complete scans, and with permission from the author, they were posted to the archive. And finally, this left 4 books still missing. Finally, on August 22nd, the last 4 books were scanned by some anonymous users. They have since been made their way to the Internet Archive. Should I Stay or Should I Go? Flashlight Brown cover. I'm sure most of you know the song Should I Stay or Should I Go by the band The Clash. In 2003, a Canadian punk rock band, Flashlight Brown, had recorded a cover for this song that was supposed to be released for the Nickelodeon animated movie Rugrats Go Wild, a crossover between Rugrats and the Wild Thornberrys. This was scrapped in favor of them releasing the song Ready to Roll. Though they did put out the song as a free secret digital download. Though the link when you go take it into the Wayback Machine is broken. Again. Finally, on August 24th, Trev Gauntlet New, again, had found owned the song once again on Soulseek, which was posted, which was uploaded to the site by a user named Sonic Smoker. At your own risk. I'm sure you guys know who Tyler the Creator is, one of hip hop's most critically beloved. During his early years, Tyler would upload the songs to MySpace under the name Ace the Creator. This one, At Your Own Risk, was released to the site back in 2008, which contained 18 songs, which seemed to have fake features on them. After Tyler, I believe, became famous, with what happened to MySpace back in the day, these became missing. Though the Tyler the Creator community would ultimately find songs and leak them. And on August 24th, the full album was leaked to the official Discord server for Tyler the Creator titled La La Land. They have since been made available to the Internet Archive. Talking Tom original model. I'm sure you guys know who Talking Tom is, as probably one of the most iconic mobile game characters of the past several years. And we saw the original model in the full game, but there was apparently a basic 3D model created by a guy named Andrei Kravchenko, apologies if I mispronounced that, which was published onto the name Turbo Squid in 2004 under the name catcartoon.zip. However, was removed likely because of the character's rising popularity. In 2025, YouTuber Addy Gamer had uploaded a video saying he had the model, but was gatekeeping it for $250. Eventually the model would be fully uploaded thanks to the help of animator Eric Beyer, and you can now look at it on the Internet Archive. Yeah, this one's a weird one. To Tell the Truth 1999 pilot. Oh, look, the second time I'm talking about this year. If you haven't seen my June stream on my old channel, which I talked about show's recently found DVD game, this is a panel-style game show which features a panel of 4 celebrities who must guess which one of 3 contestants is in fact the person they are all claiming to be. The first debuted in 1956 and has had several reboots. The current one I haven't paid attention to much about the show, so if there is a reboot right now currently airing, please let me know. Anyway, in 1990, in the late 90s, the version for the pilot for the version's pilot I'm talking about is the version that aired from 2000 to 2002 by actor hosted by John O'Hurley. In 1999, a pilot was made which basically had this with the end game of the show being similar to the Robin Ward that aired from the early 1980s. This pilot, as you could probably guess, was lost, and only small corners of it was available. On August 29th, the Game Show Vault, formerly named Wink Martindale, rest in peace, by the way, uploaded the full pilot to YouTube. What can this channel not find? The Aquabats Aqua Battle. This was a flash game that was made to promote the animated serial show The Aquabats Super Show on the Hub's website in 2012. Basically playing as an arcade style side-scrolling beat 'em up featuring 3 levels. After the hub changed into Discovery Kids, the game was shut down, making it unplayable. Though, however, there was a copy of the game featuring the first level found on a Chinese website, though it's locked under a page. It was later uploaded to Flashpoint and was played from there. This left the other 2 levels, the first one being Manant and the others being Laundry Day and Ladyfingers, lost. On August 29th, the remaining levels were added to Flashpoint by a user named Raven and is now fully playable. Prom Night soundtrack. And finally, we're ending off with the other soundtrack to a horror movie. Prom Night was a Canadian horror movie released in 1980 starring Leslie Nielsen and Jamie Lee Curtis. While it was pretty cheesy by standards, it has developed a cult following and even spawned a franchise. Apparently, one of the most appealing things about the movie was its soundtrack, which features disco music written specifically for it. However, weirdly, the official soundtrack were only released in Japan. Although all the songs are on YouTube, they sound different than what can be heard to the movie due to its poor quality and the sound edits. Therefore, a clean version was lost. Thankfully, on August 30th, we have another person named Trev Gauntlet New who was able to find the soundtrack on Amazon and then rip those songs available and are now available to listen. And there we go, August of 2025. As we're nearing the last third of the year, I'm excited to see what September has in store. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in September.